So guys, I have started recording of the session, and today what we are going to discuss here is what sort of profile do we have in Linux operating system? What are the tasks which are expected from a Linux admin or Linux engineer? And what should you be knowing in order to become a Linux administrator? What are the basic things? See, when people say like there are so many advanced questions, so guys, there is nothing known as advanced, but the depth of that topic which people try to know. For example, someone is asking about the boot process. Most of us know very well that whenever we start any server or any, let us say, desktop, laptop, whatever it is, so there is a particular sequence of activities which takes place in order to make that particular device running, right? So that is known as boot process. So for example, if someone is asking you about boot process during interview, so how do we answer that? So let us say you have given like 10,000 feet overview that first of all it will be post, then after it will be MBR, grub, and so activities you must have explained. So when a person is interested knowing that not only about the grub, but let us say what are the stages of grub. So we say like there was so many advanced interview questions, right? But the person is trying to dig into depth. Only the basic commands and the particular details of those commands, if you know, then that is really good to have. Okay, so guys, for now, let me tell you what we are going to learn here, what are the topics we are going to cover and all. So first of all, let me walk you through that and why we are going to cover these things and what will be level of these topics which we are going to cover. So that sort of thing, first of all, we are going to discuss. After that, we will complete a particular topic as well today. Right, guys?
Okay.
Okay. So guys, first of all, let me tell you, these are the particular topics which we are going to cover within this particular session. First of all, Linux basics we are going to cover here. And what are Linux basics means? What is Linux operating system? How does it work? Right? How do we create a machine in order to practice yourself? How do we access Linux from command line? Because obviously GUI is not used anywhere in production environment. I would not say anywhere because so many like end users are there who are using Ubuntu desktop as well. So, but when we are talking about production environment, when we are talking server side, so desktop versions are not required there. Desktop versions are not used, right? So we shall be talking about like how do we access or how do we manage the particular server from a command line, that sort of thing we will be discussing. Then after, if you are working on a system and you need to enhance the utility of any command, then how do you get to know like what additional options will you be able to use? Right, guys? So that sort of thing definitely we are going to discuss, like how do you take help? Then after, what are the different file systems do we have in Linux operating system? We shall be discussing about and the details of it. Because whenever we format any operating system or whenever we are working with an operating system and there is a requirement to create a file system there, right? So basis on what? What are the specification of each file system? Why do we need to select any specific file system in order to format a disk? So that sort of concept should be very clear to a Linux administrator. So we shall be discussing about the differences of all the file systems. Why it is so? Because sometimes it is required that you need to go for like ext4, sometimes it is for XFS or maybe any other file system. So we shall be talking about that. Then after, we will be talking about user management. So although like if you are working in an IT organization, so most of users are managed based on AD, like Active Directory, or maybe you guys can talk about LDAP as well. But when it comes to individual server and the like user management, so we like this becomes a really important concept. Like how do you create user? What are the types of user? Right? Where from default entries come. So that sort of concept we are going to discuss in really detailed manner. So guys, whatever we are going to discuss, we are going to discuss things in really detail. So once you complete this particular course, you shall be able to prove that you have been working with Linux operating system from last 3 to 5 years at least. If you want to show it more, that will be depending on the like level of practice which you are going to perform after going through the particular sessions. That will be depending only up to you guys. Right, guys? Then after, we are going to talk about disk management, whether it is you have multiple disks, you have one disk, whether you are talking about LVM, partition creating, mounting, temporary, permanent, what are the options do we have? So these sort of concepts should be very, very well aware of. An admin has to be very clear about it. So that sort of thing definitely we are going to discuss. Aside to that, we are going to talk about like concept of swap, like the additional memory mapping, which is known as swap in Linux operating system. How do we manage it? How do we ensure the size of it? So everything we are going to discuss. Not only like this particular thing, but we are going to discuss this concept in detail. Right, guys? Then after we are going to talk about package management. Not only package management, we are going to talk about, guys, we shall be talking about patching individual package, excluding an individual package while we are working with it. Let us say we have multiple repositories, right? So how do we ensure that these packages are not being deleted? This particular repository will not be used in order to upgrade the particular system. So that sort of thing we are going to discuss here. Now we will talk about file management, like how do we create, remove, how do we rename, change ownership, permissions, ACL, like changing attribute, everything we are going to cover here. Right, guys? Then after we will talk about Vim and VI editor. Process management we are going to discuss for sure, like how do we change priority of any process, how do we check process ID of any process, how do we check like where from the particular process is being executed. So everything we are going to discuss here. Then after, like scheduling and automation of your task, log management, how do we rotate log, how do we send logs to centralized server, right? Then after, archiving and copying files to remote system, that will include your SCP, SSH, that sort of thing we are going to discuss for sure. Then after the particular majorly used command for scripting, like grep, sed, awk, find, locate. So these sort of commands also we are going to discuss in detail. And why is that so, guys? Because until and unless we know these commands, so we shall not be able to write any automation with the help of bash shell. Right, guys? So then after major servers like SSH, FTP, mail server, HTTP, NFS, DHCP, DNS concepts, and practical implementation as well. So we are going to cover like DNS, like DHCP, because this particular server is not configured these days, because whenever you go into an IT firm, so either it is already available or the particular Wi-Fi routers which we have. So these Wi-Fi routers are working as a DHCP server for us. So these are not configured anywhere these days, but yes, if you are going to work with any specific environment where DHCP is required, so up to that level, we will discuss about here. DNS concept, we are going to discuss like what are the types of DNS, how many DNS can we have, where do we create entries for DNS server. So everything we are going to discuss here, right? Then after network setup and troubleshooting, NTP setup, managing firewall, SE Linux, hosting a WordPress website. So guys, this is going to be the very, very important thing. Like if you need to say that you have worked in a real world, in a real production environment, right? So you shall be knowing like how do we host a website and how do we secure it. So these sort of things for sure, guys, we are going to cover. And aside to this, we shall be talking about like how do we ensure that your website is secure, right, guys? So everything we are going to cover. So now, guys, if you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we are going to continue.
Sir, will you be covering a bit of like nano editor and shell scripting?
Yes, for sure. Like, see, when we are talking about editor, so if you know any of these, like maybe you know Nano, you know VI, you know Vim, right? You know gedit. So any sort of editor, like one editor is good enough to edit your files.
Okay.
But if you know that editor up to an extent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, buddy.
Sir, can you cover the cluster topic and disaster topic?
See, for that we need a physical hardware.
Actually, yeah, the lot of lot of interview are asking load balancing, cluster, and disaster recovery, and one more topic is like VMware.
So, buddy, VMware itself is a very big topic that takes at least 4 to 5 months to get completed. VMware itself is a really big topic.
Lokendra sir.
Yeah.
Parvinder side.
Hi, Praveen.
But
सर एक्चुअली ना अभी एक मेरे दो कलीग है अभी वो ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं तो आगे थोड़ा वेट कर लो अभी थोड़ा ना.
No, let them join. This session is being recorded. Whatever is missed, they can go through it once again.
Okay.
But can you just
Praveen, I am in the call.
Abhishek. Okay. Actually, वो Deepak also is joining.
Not a problem. Let them. Yes, buddy. You had some question.
But can you just cover the like hypervisor, how to create the servers on hypervisor?
Okay, not a problem. I can cover that. But before that, let me tell you. So if you need to work in a data center and the particular data center is traditional, so only in that case you will get to know. Otherwise, yes, I'm going to tell you like how to create a server. We are going to begin from this particular topic itself, like how do we create a server?
Okay.
Yes, because see guys, what happens these days, most of organizations are using cloud computing environment. They are using cloud technology. So it is of no use to like invest your time on those particular technologies which were really old. Until unless you are going to be part of any data center, till the time it will be of no use to know about the particular server creation and data center management. Because see, I have been part of those organizations where I have worked on hypervisors. I have set up the particular environment where hypervisors are being used. But in a nutshell, if you just try to know that how do we manage or like how does hypervisor work, so that sort of concept definitely we will understand. But for that, at least we need a physical server where hypervisor can run, where we can install hypervisor. And as you even currently, this is my dashboard of AWS. So like I do not have physical servers. And majorly the particular task of a Linux administrator is not to manage the hypervisor side, but once the operating system is created and delivered to like application team in order to provide support to them, that is the particular task of Linux administrator. So first of all, let us try to see like how do we create a machine in order to do practice, right guys? Okay.
Yes, sir. I have one question, sir.
Okay, let us begin then. So guys, first of all, I'm going to create a machine for you, like where you guys need to practice after this particular session. Like, because until unless we do practice, so learning only will not help. Practice is the major thing which you need to do, right? So I'm going to create a machine where we are going to practice as well, like side by side. This is my AWS account. And guys, one more thing, like you need not to have your Linux machine installed on your laptop or on your desktop. So that is not going to help you. Why it is so you can create one AWS account for free and one EC2 machine you can run for entire year. And if you need to run two machines in parallel, so you can run maybe for 12 hours every day, then after you can stop using that. So guys, I'm going to give it a name like Linux box. So now guys, when we talk about like what operating system have you worked with? So guys, whether it is Amazon Linux, this is Linux flavor, Macintosh, like Mac OS, Ubuntu and Red Hat. All these are Linux operating systems. Moreover, if you explore somewhere like SUSE Linux, we have CentOS as well. Multiple, like Debian, we have multiple operating systems are there. Whatever you are comfortable with, you can definitely go for it. But guys, we will begin with Red Hat. And why is that so? Why do we prefer Red Hat? Because guys, this is a particular organization. Like earlier, this used to be independent, but right now this has been taken care by this is purchased by IBM, right? So whatever you call it, like as an individual product or as a sub organization of IBM, so that will work here, right? So I'm going to select the Red Hat operating system because this particular platform provides certificates to like learners. Then after this particular organization provides supports to those particular organizations which are registered with the RH and Red Hat network services, right? Then after, not only this, operating system is free, but if you need to take support from Red Hat engineers, then definitely this particular will become paid service. Otherwise, Red Hat operating system is like free. Then after guys, we are going to create one machine here. The size is going to be T2 micro. This is free tier eligible. Like we will be able to run this particular machine for entire year for free. Right guys? We need a particular key pair to log in. So this is SSH keys for me. We will discuss this particular section.
Sir, what does it mean by T2 micro?
T2 micro, like there are different type of machines, like based on their utilization, based on the hardware capacity. So if you see like other instance types here, so you will get to know like there are different type of machine. Like we have T2 Nano, where you are going to get 1 CPU and 0.5 GB of RAM. You have T2 medium where you have 2 CPU and 4 GB of RAM. And if you scroll down, maybe like we have C5.18x large, where you are going to get 75 CPU and maybe like 144 GB of RAM.
So I can select any one of these.
Yes, you can select any one of these, but for your individual uses, for your own like practical purpose, guys, I'll suggest you to choose only T2 micro machine. Why is that so? Because this machine will be running for free for 1 calendar year. For example, today is 1st of October, right? So if you select this machine, then guys, what is going to happen? You will be able to run this machine for 1 calendar year, like till 30th of September next year. This machine will be running for free. You will not be charged even a single penny for this.
Okay.
That is the advantage of AWS. So that is why I selected, as it is mentioned here as well, that this is for free tier eligible. Right, guys?
Yes.
So now I'm going to create my firewall rules. Like you can call it either firewall or you can call it as security group. Guys, just give me a moment. Yes, guys, sorry. So firewall rules, we are talking about like when we create a server, right? So the very first responsibility of an administrator is to secure it. Because if we keep it open to everyone, then definitely, guys, anyone who are known as hacker, right? Those may try to attack on your server. Those users may try to do unwanted activities on your server, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to open port 22, allow SSH traffic. So what is the port number of SSH, guys? By default, it is 22 port number, right? Where from do I want to allow? So I want to allow from my IP address only. This is my IP address. Where from, like I'm running internet on my system. So this is my IP address, right, guys? Because I do not want to run any other service here. So for right now, I'm not going to allow any other port number. So this is only my IP address. But yes, if you are doing practice or maybe you don't want to bother about that what are the particular port numbers are open and all, so you can whitelist like this particular series 0.0.0.0. So this is known as from anywhere. Anyone who has access to internet will be able to access your server on this particular port number. Not only knowing the IP address of a server and knowing the port number of server, a user will be able to log in. The user must have, or the person must have, either the keys of the server or username and password. Right, guys? Okay. We are going to get one disk of 10 GB here.
Which IP we should select?
Pardon?
Which IP address we should select?
So ideally, there are two things. We are going to discuss, like once we create this machine, we are going to discuss this part as well. So there are different type of zones in production environment. Let me draw something for you in that particular case as well.
Availability zone.
Yeah, not availability zone we are talking about. We are talking about like network zone.
Okay.
So let me tell you like how does that look like. So guys, we have majorly like 4 type of applications which we run in an organization. So first of all, it is going to be web servers. So when we talk about web server, yes. So these are web server, guys. So web servers are kept inside DMZ. This is known as demilitarized zone. Like whenever we accept any traffic from internet, so that internet traffic is accepted in our infrastructure with the help of some web server. Or if you do not have web server directly, like you have some sort of load balance on the top of it, so it will be known as LB. Maybe first of all, from internet, we are accepting traffic on load balancer. Then from load balancer, we are accepting traffic on web server. Now, there could be one more scenario like you do not have LB as first point of contact for other users. So you have firewall. Like first of all, traffic will come on firewall. Firewall will check like whether the particular traffic is coming from authentic source or not, whether the particular user is allowed to access on the server or not. So based on that particular finding, if firewall allows, then traffic will be forwarded to load balancer. Now load balancer will check on which particular server. For example, we have multiple servers created here. Let us say this is server 1, this is server 2, and so on and so forth, right guys? So based on like availability of a servers, load balancer will distribute the traffic. And where the particular servers are created, keep this thing in mind guys, this particular zone is known as DMZ, demilitarized zone, because whether it is firewall directly, whether it is load balancer in first place, or whether it is firewall in first place, so whatever architecture you design, right guys?
What is the ideal structure, sir? First LB comes or firewall?
First of all, it is firewall, then load balancer, then web server.
Okay.
But end of the day, like if you make it like this as well, like load balancer, then firewall, so end of the day, firewall will block all the traffic once it is passed through load balancer. But end of the day, which is the ideal structure, I have seen a couple of places that like LB can be put before firewall, but this is the ideal structure. First of all, firewall should come in place, then after load balancer. So guys, why we are talking about these things? So because we have a lot of scope. Once we understand the like any operating system, whether it is Windows, it is Linux operating system, so we can become firewall administrator, because if you know the idea about like network, like how do we configure, what is source IP address, what is destination IP address, how do we set up monitoring on firewall, what other existing rule do we have, whether we should allow this or not, if there is any vulnerability in firewall rules, right? If any unwanted rule is available, if there is a rule which has not been accessed maybe for last 6 months, so we can remove that particular rule from the firewall, right? So that sort of activities can be done by a firewall administrator. Load balancer, LB administrator, like you can talk about F5, and if you are talking about like cloud environment, so you can talk about some application load balancer, network load balancer, and other type of load balancer you can talk about. But guys, wherever we have capped like this firewall, this load balancer, these web servers. So guys, this type of zone is not, this type of network architecture is known as DMZ. DMZ stands for demilitarized zone. This particular zone is mostly is more secure than others. Why is that so? Every single web server will have one public and one private IP. Every single server will have one public as well as one private IP address. Why is that so? So guys, it could be possible that there is a domain running. For example, www.servergyan.com. This is my website which is running, right? So in order to bind this website with any IP address, and obviously I want this website should be accessible over internet. So what is required, guys? The very first thing is required a public IP address. Otherwise, if I bind this website with a private IP address, right guys, then this website will not be accessible over internet. Clear? Or what we can do here is that we can bind one public IP address with this load balancer. Now, whenever traffic will come here on load balancer, we can bind this load balancer IP address against the domain name. So whenever request will come here, this will work as a forward proxy for us, and that particular will forward traffic here onto these web servers. So either we need a public IP address along with this web server or with the load balancer. Now, it can also be a question during interview. Okay, when we have set a load balancer and where public IP address is also enabled, so is it required that we should bind a public IP address with this machine as well? So guys, it is not required. If we have such a mechanism that load balancer has public IP address, right? So what we can do here is we can bind this domain name against the load balancer public IP address. But end of the day, whether it is load balancer or it is public, like this particular web server directly, so we need to have a public IP address with either of the machines, whether load balancer or whether web server. Clear, guys? Are we clear with this thing, guys?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Right. Good. But what happens? Most of organizations prefer
So
to
we
have,
should to bind the domain name instead of the IP address.
come again. What did you say? Hello. What was your question? I could not get you properly.
Sir, I'm asking that we should bind the domain name instead of the IP address.
No. That's not the case. So whenever we host a website, so our customers are very well aware of the domain name. For example, whenever you try to purchase anything, so you always say that, okay, there is a particular sale going on with Amazon.com or Amazon, right?
Yes.
Or maybe Flipkart.com, maybe Myntra.com, maybe any other like e-commerce platform you may be aware of. You would like to have some entertainment. You would like to go to Netflix, maybe to Facebook, maybe to YouTube or wherever, right? That's not called any individual name here. So you just talk about the domain name. Have you ever said, okay, let us talk about like 8.9.72.82? No, because an end user is only concerned about the domain name. What IP address is mapped with that, we are not worried about it. That is why, guys, what happens whenever we talk about our mobile phone itself, so we always prefer to save a mobile number with a contact name. Because humans brain is designed in such a way it can remember names very easily rather than numbers, right? So binding a domain name with IP address is just like saving a contact number with a name. So that is just a mapping. So we have to bind a particular domain name with a IP address that is accessible over internet. Now the difference, guys, public addresses are paid. We have to purchase these IP addresses from an ISP. ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. Like we have BSNL, we have Vodafone, and maybe we have some others, right? Like VI, Idea, Geo, like so many more others, right? So what is happening here? We have to purchase one public IP address in order to run internet. Private IP addresses are not allowed to be accessible over internet. These are accessible within internet only, right? So whenever we create one machine, so we have to associate two IP addresses there, one private and one public. So if this is the structure that one machine has two IP addresses, so that is considered to be part of DMZ, like demilitarized zone. This is the first zone here, right? The second type of servers which we have, so these type of servers are known as application servers. Let us define here app server. So now what are app servers? So guys, once again, we have like these sort of servers here. Like we have application server. These application servers do not accept traffic directly from internet. But based on the some rules, let us say we have installed maybe Apache here, maybe Nginx, maybe Tomcat, maybe any other sort of web server we have implemented. So once the request arrives at this particular place, at this particular web server, so guys, in that particular case, this web server will forward the traffic onto these application servers. Guys, these application servers has only private IP. These application servers will have only private IP address. These applications are not exposed over internet. But based on the requirement, these servers may access to internet with the help of some proxy servers. Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My laptop does not have any public IP address associated with it. My laptop does not have any public IP address associated with it. But yes, what is happening here in this particular case, guys? If you see, I am able to access internet here. And how is that becoming possible, guys? So we need to understand this thing because of my Wi-Fi IP address. I am using a Wi-Fi which has one public IP address. The same way, this particular server will be able to reach out to internet, but no one from internet will be able to reach out to these servers. And these particular environments are known as prod zone.
Sir, can you please repeat this thing again?
Yeah, for sure.
About prod zone. Yeah.
So when we want that someone from internet should not be able to reach out to us, right, guys? Someone or maybe anyone from internet should not be able to reach out to our server. That particular network topology or network architecture is known as prod zone. I can reach out to internet. Okay, let me tell you something about IP. What is my IP? Very quickly. So guys, if you see, this is my IP address. Right, guys? If I tell you this IP address and the username and password of my laptop, will you be able to access my laptop? No? Because this laptop belongs to my Wi-Fi router, not to my laptop. But if you want, I can access any of the websites which are accessible over internet. Right?
Yes.
So what does it mean? What do I mean to say by this? So guys, I mean to say that whenever we are working in such an environment, when we want that our servers should be able to access internet because of anything. For example, we need to fetch some data from internet. Then after we want to process it, and after that we want that the particular data should be processed as per the requirement. So we can reach out to internet, but no one from internet will be able to reach out to the server. This is known as prod server. Okay. Now the very next environment here is, so that environment is known as DB server.
So there's one doubt here in prod zone, that how we can reach to the internet, like we don't have any public IP in prod.
Okay. So guys, we shall be able to reach out to internet with the help of proxy server.
Proxy server. Okay.
Yeah. So we will define a proxy server. So with the help of proxy server, so we shall be able to reach out to some server which is connecting to internet. So right now, in order to go to internet, we will make a request from this server to this server, and now we will go to internet from this server, like outside of our network. So for example, as you see, my laptop does not have any static IP address which is associated with my laptop, but still I'm able to access internet. Right, guys? And how is that possible? Because somehow or the other, I have a Wi-Fi router. Right, guys? I have a Wi-Fi router, and with the help of that Wi-Fi router, I am able to connect to internet. The same infrastructure is created for any organization. Like first zone is kept and known as DMZ, where public and private IP addresses are kept. Most of web servers are kept here. Maybe one more thing. Let us say you have one public SFTP server. For example, for any audit purpose, or maybe for some other requirement, you have configured your organization's infra in such a way that you want to transfer data over internet. So how will you be able to transfer? You will have a SFTP server in this zone. That SFTP server will have one public and one private IP address configured, like that way. So whenever you want to be accessible over internet, you will have to keep yourself or keep your server inside this particular infrastructure inventory side. Okay, final DB server. So these servers are not supposed to have any sort of access towards internet, maybe not even proxy servers. These servers are known as DB zone. Like these particular servers are kept in a different zone. So this is known as DB zone. Like databases, all type of databases, be it is MySQL, Oracle, Postgres, Aerospike, Cassandra, maybe QLDB, whatever type of databases you can think of. So all the databases are kept inside a separate zone, separate network segment, and these particular servers are known as DB servers. No one can reach out to these servers from internet, and these servers cannot reach out to internet in any circumstances. Right, guys? Now, one more type of infra we are going to discuss about, and that is known as management servers. Some of you may be aware of it, like what is management zone. Those who are aware of, that is good. Those who are not aware of it, let us discuss right away. Right, guys. So we are talking about management servers. So what are these? So let us say we are talking about a particular type of service server which is known as Jenkins. So we are going to keep Jenkins here, maybe Ansible, right? Monitoring, right? Maybe VAPT tool. Like we have some sort of tool which are required in order to perform some sort of penetration testing for our servers, right, guys? Maybe for automation. right? Maybe we want to have jump servers. Jump server, you can call it bastion host. So guys, you might be thinking that when these servers do not have, when these servers like DB and these servers do not have any public IP address configured, then how do we log into these? How do we access these servers? So guys, in order to access these servers, in order to log into these server, we have this particular tool known as either jump server or bastion host. So first of all, we will log into our laptop. Let us say I have my laptop placed here. I'm sitting here. So first of all, from my laptop, I will initiate a VPN connection. I will initiate a VPN connection from my laptop towards my office, and from here, I will initiate a connection to log into this, like this server. Over VPN, I will log into this server, and from here, I will jump onto this server. So direct access is not allowed. Clear, guys? Because most of guys who are not aware of real production environment, like how do we connect to a production server where no IP address is configured. So when a person can ask you during interview, like how do you connect to your servers? Are they accessible over internet? You will say no, these servers are not. Then how do we access these? So you should be able to understand that from laptop, we initiate a VPN connection towards our like data center where our servers are kept. First of all, we log into a jump server or bastion host, you can call that. From there, we jump to these database servers. Are we clear with that thing, guys?
Yes, sir. I do have one doubt.
Please,
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, when you say VPN, sir, like they're not like a Nord VPN, right, sir? Nord VPN or public, like some VPNs we get in the, they're advertised, right, sir? So like VPN means like I understand what is VPN, but like can you tell me more more vendor examples, sir? Like.
Okay, so there are two types of VPNs available. Either you can have software VPN, or you can have like hardware devices. Like you can have some sort of firewalls. You can talk about Fortinet. You can talk about Cisco. You can talk about Sonic Wall. Right? Multiple firewalls are there which do not only secure your traffic but provides you a facility that you can initiate connections from your office network towards data center in an encrypted way, in a secure way, in a tunnel manner. So this is known as like virtual private network. Your data will be traveling over internet for sure, because let us say if there is a particular requirement that you need to reach out from your office to your data center, and let us say your office in Bangalore and you are sitting in Pune, right? So if you have to reach out from Pune to Bangalore, so how will you be doing that? Because that, like, obviously some internet connection will be required there, right? But in that particular case, you shall be accessing. For example, there is a server created. Let us talk about this server. So IP address here is, for example, like that is 10.28 28.247. Let us say 22 slash, let us say 24, whatever IP address it is. So whenever you will be accessing this server from your laptop, so you will be typing a such simple command like SSH, then user @ this IP address. And how is that possible, guys, that you are accessing a private IP address over internet? Because you already have set up a tunnel from your laptop to this particular server. So this is how you are going to access it.
Okay.
Right, guys?
Okay,
so somebody asked me, what is that prod me like production? DB stands for database.
Sir, I do have one more question, sir.
Yeah.
So like, where does the HTTPS connections terminate, sir? Like, so like whether they terminated web server or they terminated proxy app server.
Load balancer.
Acha, okay.
Because wherever you are going to associate your HTTPS certificate, whether it's a load balancer, so like in most of cases, the ideal topology here is we should be terminating all the SSL connections at the load balancer level. And if you have like that sort of mechanism, that first of all, they should be terminating at load balancer. Moreover, like you want that there should be like the multiple layer channel of SSL. So what you be doing? First of all, you will terminate SSL connection from here at load balancer. Then once again, you will forward like a request from this load balancer towards this server. So once again, your SSL connections will be terminated here. But guys, keep this thing in mind, like the number of hops, number of endpoints you are going to have where you are terminating your SSL connection. So that is going to increase latency for you. Because whenever a certificate, which is known as SSL certificate, that is generated with some sort of like random keys, maybe 2048 bit, maybe 4096 bit. So whenever these keys are used, like every single request will come with a public key. So that there will be a particular pair of public and private key pair. We will discuss about in detail when we will be talking about securing website in coming time. So every single request takes some time, that consumes some compute power of our operating system in order to encrypt and decrypt that request. So that like number of endpoints where SSL connection is getting terminated, so that will lead to increase some latency. And end of the day, that latency will be a particular bothering point for your end user. Because let us say if user is facing 10 millisecond latency at load balancer, same time here. So like user will get frustrated. User will not get to know like how many times you are terminating your SSL connections. But every time there will be a particular like encryption, decryption taking place, that will increase the latency. So we have to be very careful while we are designing the infrastructure architecture in order to ensure that we are securing our connection, we are providing very like security to our customers' data. Aside to that, we should be thinking of like how many places we are going to terminate the SSL connection. Right, guys?
Okay, sir. The
One
web
more
servers
thing, guys,
only
related to this
NVs.
particular course, let me tell you, I shall not only be executing the commands which are related to these topics. Right, guys? Only these topics I'm not going to cover. I'm going to share my experience with you guys. I shall not be talking about like the particular, okay, this is VI editor. We are going to discuss today VI editor. These are the options. These are the particular modes. This is how we work. So guys, in real time use cases, in real world, what are the use cases of it? So we shall be discussing more and more about the use cases rather than thinking of like, these are the only commands which we are going to learn. No. So guys, is there any book where these sort of things are written, which we are discussing for like for last 30 minutes?
No.
No, sir. No, sir.
Because guys, how would you be able to prove yourself that yes, you have worked in a real-time environment? Just because of these things? Right? If someone is going to ask you, like, okay, tell me one thing, where are the particular servers? Where are the like management? Okay, where is your Jenkins server created? So what will you say, in DB zone, in app server, or in DMZ? So we have to say that we have a separate network segment where we have created those servers which are used for management purpose. Like we have here Jenkins, Ansible, monitoring engines, because where no customer data is kept, only the operating system performance, operating system is like continuous integration, continuous management, right? Continuous configuration is happening there. We are monitoring, we are scanning our servers. Let us say if there is any vulnerability in that or not, right? Moreover, we have different type of like environment. So for those, we have to jump from these servers to like our actual endpoints. So that sort of thing. How do we get to know? Because I'm going to know, I'm not only going to explain the major key points, like only the commands. I shall be telling you the real-time use cases of those commands. Right, guys? So we were talking about only IP address. So and someone was asking like, what zone do we need to select? So guys, keep this thing in mind whenever we are talking about like what are the particular zone do we need to select, whether that is going to be your availability zone we are talking about. We can discuss about here like what sort of VPC we are going to have, what is going to be our subnet preference. So let us keep it here. Do you want to auto send public IP address? If you want, you can opt this option that you do not want to have public IP address associated with this server. But guys, if you opt this option, you shall not be able to log into this machine once it is created. This is going to be security group name. If you want to modify it, obviously you can do that. If you want to select an existing security group, you can select that one as well. Right, guys? Like that way.
Sir,
Yeah.
will you discuss the basics of DNS subnet, or we should prepare by ourselves only?
Your voice is very low, dear.
Sir, actually, I'm asking that will you discuss the basics like what is DNS subnet, and or shall we prepare by ourselves only?
No, no, we shall definitely discuss this. Reason being, if we do not understand the networking concept of Linux, then how will...
Sir, especially I don't come from network background.
See, when I mentioned this particular line like network setup and troubleshooting. So until unless we understand the network, like what is private IP, what is public IP address, now what are the range of private IP addresses, how do we define like how many subnets are going to be there, right? How do we actually decide like network segments in real world? So if we do not understand that particular part, then how we are going to be able to troubleshoot in a real world environment?
Exactly.
So definitely we shall discuss about all these things.
Okay.
So guys, this is going to be Linux industrial training. Like I do not mean, see if you see like I have not mentioned here iSCSI, right? I have not mentioned here like we are going to like discuss a lot about firewall rules because IP tables are merely used in production environment because we have some additional level of firewall and even IP tables do not fulfill the requirement of any organization. The particular level of rules, the level of filtering which we have to implement on firewall. So IP table does not support that level of filtering. So because of which we have to go with physical firewall. So why do we need to like put a lot of efforts in understanding IP tables? So rather than we can discuss something like something else which is more important about it. So okay guys, we are going to launch this instance. If you have any other questions, please ask. Yes, guys, any questions so far? So guys, first of all, we need to understand like the machine which we have created. So what are the features of this machine? Okay, let this machine become accessible. So yes, this is the machine which we have. So guys, this is instance ID. You will get to know about this. This is public IP address which is automatically assigned to this machine, right, guys? Then after we have one private IP address associated with this machine. So guys, if we see this type of machine that where public and private both IP address is assigned, then what zone will it be considered as?
DMZ.
Obviously, it will be considered as DMZ zone, right? Based on network topologies. Okay. Now we can see here, like this is the host name of this machine. This is DNS. This is public host name. Like this is the particular host name of machine. This is private IP DNS name. If there is any static IP address configured, what is the particular platform it is using? Red Hat. What is image ID? Monitoring section you can talk about. What is the key pair we associated with this, like using which we are supposed to log into this operating system. So every information is available here. This is like basic information. Now you can talk about security component. If any port number is whitelisted or not, where from it is accessible. If you want to modify the rules of the security group, you can do that. If you want to talk about networking, like if you want to know about only network segment, like what is the particular VPC where it is created, what availability zone it is in, like what is the subnet ID, what is availability zone, every information like storage, status, monitoring, and text, everything you can talk about, everything you can check here. So guys, now what we are going to do, we are going to hit on connect. So this is known as SSH client. So guys, there are multiple SSH client, like you can talk about putty, you can talk about mobile extern, you can talk about any Linux terminal, you can talk about like git bash. Multiple terminals are available. Maybe if you are using Ubuntu or Red Hat, so these operating system comes by default with like multiple operating system provide like CentOS. So by default, these operating system provides a shell. So this is my like operating system. I'm using Macintosh, like Mac OS I'm using here. So guys, if you see, even this is going to provide you a particular shell. This is going to provide you a particular terminal using which I can take access of any remote system. So this is also known as SSH client. So what are the SSH client, guys? It could be PuTTY, it could be Mobexterm, it could be Git Bash, it could be your Linux terminal. Guys, what do we call it?
Shell.
Either you can call it shell or you can call it a terminal where you can type in the command. Right, so I'll copy it from here. The exit command I will copy. I'll log into this particular one. Let me increase the font size as it shall be visible to you guys. I'll go to downloads because my key is kept here. I'll hit paste. So guys, what is this particular command doing? Can anyone tell me that?
Is doing an SSH connection to the server.
Okay, this is doing an SSH connection to the server. Great. And why we are doing that? So guys, what happens? Let us say the server which I've created is running somewhere in Mumbai, right? So I do not have any physical access to that particular server. Like I can operate my laptop from here itself because I can touch it, I can look it, I can feel it, right? I know whether it is clean or it is dirty. I know how much resources are free and all. But if I need to configure, if I need to log in, if I need to manage such a machine which is kept at some remote location, so guys, there has to be a particular mechanism using which I shall be able to access that machine, right? So in order to access that machine, there is a protocol developed which is used majorly in Linux operating system like domain, that is known as SSH, secure shell. This particular command will allow me to log into a remote server, and then after logging there, I shall be able to perform any operation which is required. Are we clear with that, guys? Like why we are running this command?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Not only this. Okay, let us run. So guys, if you see, it is asking like the authenticity of host. This is the host name which I copied from there, right? This is the IP address 3.110.128.118. Can't be established. And why is that so? The particular key fingerprint are not known to my operating system. So if I want that I trust the system, I really want to continue to it, I will have to type in YES. The complete yes I'll have to type. If I define here Y, it will say, please type YES or no. Like completely you will have to type in. Otherwise, this operating system does not understand your sort options. That is why, like by mistake, you should not be typing Y and you are authenticating to an unwanted server. That is why there is a restriction that you will have to type in a complete YES, yes, right? That is it. I am logged into this operating system now. Guys, I can type in a logout. I'm logged out from there. Now, guys, if I hit once again, so will it ask me once again, okay, this is a particular host?
No, sir. It will not ask.
Yes, you are right. And why is that not asking, guys? So within every operating system, there is a file.
.ss known host.
There is a file which is responsible that all the servers wherever I have logged in so far. So the information of those servers are kept here. If you see the same server I logged into that, if I delete this particular line, I log out from here and I try to log in again. So it will ask me again the same information that I do not recognize the particular operating system where you are trying to log in. Type in yes in order to log in. The authenticity I will have to prove.
Sir, can you please repeat this known host? What is this used for?
Okay, wait. So let us say whenever I log into a remote server, okay, whom do I speak to? A person whom I know very well, right? Or first of all, I will have to confirm my identity to an unknown person if I want to speak to that person, right? The same way as we introduce ourselves before starting conversation with anyone, the same way this operating system does. That in order to allow any person or any operating system to have a connection with that, we store the identification of that particular person in this particular file. The file name is this is known as home directory of a user. Inside that user's home directory, there is a particular folder known as .ssh. Dot means the particular folder remains hidden. This is not visible, like without running explicit command in order to identify the particular server. Right, guys? Now, inside that folder, we have a file known as non-host. And guys, this file remains common across multiple platforms. Like, I do not guarantee about one or two specific operating system, but yes, SSH protocol remains standard across the operating systems. Right? And even the location of this particular file remains same. Like this will be found inside any individual user's home directory. Are we clear with that, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we go down, and why I'm doing that? I should be deleting all in one. So yes, guys, I log into that operating system, and if I log out once again, I see there will be only one entry found. And that was the same server where I just tried to log in. Okay, so now let's log in here now. Okay, guys, so one more very, very basic command, although this command should be introduced later on, but yes, when we are working with this operating system. So this is the command, guys, which is very, very frequently used, sudo su hyphen. This command, what does this command do? So guys, basically this command is used in order to escalate privileges as a super user. And now what is super user? So guys, as we know, there is a user known as administrator in Windows, right? So because most of us comes from such a background where Windows operating system, like someone or sometime or the other, we have definitely like worked along with Windows system. So as we have administrator user in that particular operating system, the same way we have an administrator user which has unrestricted powers or unrestricted permissions to perform anything on the operating system. That user is known as root. What is the username, guys? Root. So in order to escalate your privileges, in order to like promote yourself as root user, we execute this command. The command name is sudo, or like in other words, you can understand it like super user do. Super user do, or you can call that sudo. Su means switch user hyphen. So guys, if you place this hyphen at end of this particular command, so guys, this will ensure you to log in to this user's home directory. Right, guys? So this particular command will allow you to log into that user's home directory. Just a moment, guys. Hello. Yes, guys. So sudo su hyphen. This command, are you clear with this? Now, guys, what is this option here? So, guys, if you remember, even earlier I was defining this particular command, this particular symbol.
Yes.
What does this represent, guys?
Home directory.
This represents home directory of a user. So let us say in case of root user, this is /root. Right? In case of what is this username, guys?
EC2 user.
What is home directory of this user, guys? /home/EC2. So this could be any, but when we are trying to talk about this tilde symbol, right? So this represents the home directory of a user which is currently logged in. Okay, let us try to do one thing. So if I run this command, guys, what is going to be different with this?
Go to the root user.
Pardon?
You'll go to the root user, right?
Okay, and will there be any difference if we define this hyphen or not?
It will log in as a root, but it will directly to the home/EC2 user direct.
Okay, you are right. But why is that so? Because guys, whenever we are defining this hyphen, so this is going to ensure that yeah, the next user. Guys, please mute yourself if you are not speaking. That will be of great help. Otherwise, I will have to use my V2 power. Okay, not a problem. So guys, we need to ensure this particular option, that dash, this particular command, this hyphen, this minus, whatever you like to call it, this ensures that user will land into user's home directory. Or otherwise, if we run this particular command, cd and tilde, what will this command do? So this will once again take you to your user's home directory. Right, guys? Otherwise, if you define cd and hyphen, cd and enter, so this will also take you to your user's home directory.
Okay.
Let us say now there is a requirement that I forgot that where I was working last time, that in which particular directory I was working the last. So guys, we can jump to the same directory with the help of cd dash.
Oh, okay.
If I, okay, where I was earlier?
/EC2
That's home
user.
/EC2 user.
Yes.
cd dash. Did I define any directory where I'm supposed to jump? No. But with this particular option, we are able to go back to previous working directory. Right, guys? And what we are trying to discuss right now. So guys, we are trying to discuss the basics of Linux operating system, but only knowing basics of Linux operating system is not good enough, guys. Whatever command we do. So usually I ask users a command, netstat, just giving an example. Forget about it, what I'm doing. Just give me a moment, guys. Let me install this particular package. This is required because this is the mostly asked interview questions. And guys, I shall not only be telling you like what are the actual use cases of this. I shall be walking you through like how will you be preparing for the interview session.
Great. Thank you.
Because guys, here the end goal is to crack the interview and to get a job. And not only that, after getting the job, you shall be able to perform the task which is being assigned to you. And how will you be able to perform? If you have knowledge, right?
Yes.
Yes, guys. So this is the command basically. Okay, so Venkat is asking why we install nettool. So guys, there is a command known as netstat. This is the command if you are going to face Linux operating system, Linux administrator interview question, then this is the command which will definitely be asked to you. Without any expectation, every single person should be knowing about this command, right?
Yes.
So usually what happens, so a person tells, okay, why do we run this command? In order to understand like what are the particular port numbers available on this operating system, on which particular IP address these port numbers are listening, right? If I need to check like whether these servers are running fine, but is there any like connection established with the operating system? For example, let me tell you like real-time use case. There is an activity related to patching, like updating your softwares in the server available in the server, right? You have identified, okay, 5 packages are there which are supposed to update, which are supposed to be updated. And post updating those packages, we need to take a reboot of server, right, guys? So will you log into server and reboot the server without checking anything? Obviously not. you will have to ensure whether any program running on this operating system is accepting any connection from anywhere. Whether any user has established any connection with this. Maybe it is a financial operating system. Means like some financial transactions are taking place. If you reboot the server, for sure, the transaction will get stopped in the between. That may lead to some financial losses. Right, guys?
Yes.
So in order to check that, so you will have to use, like, there is a connection from, like, on this particular IP address, which is initiated from this particular IP address. And guys, whose IP address is this?
Your laptop.
This is my IP address. It means if I reboot this operating system, then there is only one connection, which is an established state. My connection is currently active with this server. So guys, earlier I executed some different command. The command was netstart-tunlp. These were the options which I executed here. Right now, I defined some different options options here, A and T. So guys, what does that mean? So can we define any alphabets here, or do these have any specific meaning?
Yes.
So 80% people whom I asked this question, so they are able to answer this. Like, we need to run this command netstart-tunlp. But if I ask them, what is the relevance? Okay, what would happen if I remove this P? People are not, mostly people are not aware of it. If I remove L, N, U, T, if I define only A, then what would happen? So guys, not only knowing the commands or with their like specific options. So guys, we should be knowing the utilities of these options. Right, guys?
Yes.
Because see, not only having a driving license make you driver, but when you are driving, so you need to have a very like sharp eye. You need to have very sharp vision. Like what you need to have very sharp focus on the road. Not only road, like whether there are some like maybe there might be some dips on the road, right? The road is not that much smooth as you are trying to run your car very fast, right? So it may be possible there is very heavy traffic on the road. So everything you need to like look at while you are driving. You cannot say that I know this particular command, that this command we will execute and everything will work. Knowing this command will not make you an administrator, but knowing the meaning of individual alphabets. Like what would happen if I remove this? Let us see. This program ID or process ID is gone.
Yes.
Okay. If I remove this L, so right now, if you see, the state is showing only established.
The listen is gone.
The listen is gone. If I want to know the listening port, only then L will be used. For example, if I remove this particular N, what will it? How will it make a difference here? So right now, if you see, like we are seeing the IP addresses of the server.
Yeah.
It will define like host name of the operating system, and rather than defining the particular like product port number, it is going to show the protocol. What is SSH?
Yeah.
Right, guys? If I define this U, if I remove this U here, you will see something else. It will show only TCP connections. If I remove this T and define U, it will show only UDP connections. So guys, not only like cramming a command, not only remembering a command, right? So that does not really make you a particular Linux administrator. What makes you a real administrator is that whatever command you are using, you are knowing that up to that extent that whatsoever utilities you have to know. Right? Whatever utilities you have to know, so you shall be talking about that, yes, I know up to full extent of it. That will make you a real administrator. Right, guys? Okay. So guys, that was just an example of it. So now when we are talking about the basics of Linux. So guys, we are going to begin with the basics of Linux today. So guys, the particular difference of the particular like a Linux class and industrial training should be very clear till now.
Yes, got it.
Because over here, I'm not going to execute a couple of commands. Like, okay, this is the command, this is the output. No, we are not going to discuss like that. Whenever we will discuss, so we will discuss with a production use case. Sometimes usually people ask me Sometimes people ask like, okay, will you be doing any project? No, I will not be walking through any project, because when whatever topic we are going to discuss, so we will take a use case from the production and we will be performing the practicals on this type of machine, only the particular machine which we are logged in right now. Because no one in industry will allow you to run or the particular to perform the commands onto their production servers. Because what if, okay, tell me one thing. Let us say there is a particular thing which I'm going to do. Let us say RM dash RF, right? And if I define here, there is a file, let us say etc, and let us say OS release. And if I define here, guys, what will it do?
It will delete it.
Wipe out the operating system. Like,
It will delete forcefully.
What will
Whatever.
it wipe off?
It will
It will
completely
wipe off that
it
file.
will
OS
wipe off
release
that,
file.
yeah, the operating system file will be deleted.
Okay, this file will be deleted, right?
Right.
No, the file will be there, but the versions established in that file name that will be removed. Yes.
No.
And current location also will be deleted.
Complete etc director might be
Erase
erased.
the OS.
No, whatever file contents are there under the OS release, it will all delete forcefully.
Okay.
All the files related to the OS release will be deleted, will be wiped off. Not only the operating system.
Wow, great. That's the difference, guys, which we need to understand. Let me tell you. What is my current home directory?
EC2 user /home is
Is there anything available?
no.
These files are available right now?
Yes.
Okay. I have created this file. So rather than removing that file, let us see what happens. And guys, whenever, listen, this is also shortcut, guys. So whenever you need to remove a complete line, so you can press Control and W. And if you need to print the same line again, Control Y.
What was the previous thing?
Control W will remove it.
Okay.
And to get it back, Control Y.
Okay.
You will have to keep on pressing Control while pressing W, right? Control plus, like same thing. Okay. Now, see, guys, if I run this command, what would happen?
Present working files in the present working directory will be removed, I guess.
Pardon?
Files in the present working directory will be removed, I guess.
And what if I do like this?
That extension of any text files that will be removed.
So guys, we need to understand this thing very, very clearly, that if we define a space after this,
Okay, right. Got it.
right? So we are just not trying to delete a file. We are not only defining this asterisk like along with this, but there is a space in between. Keep this thing in mind, the criticality of this space, guys. Linux operating system considers this space as a separate argument. First of all, Linux operating system will delete this particular file forcefully, which is created in /tmp directory. After that, it will consider this asterisk as a separate argument, which means this is going to remove, first of all, this file from temp location. Then after, all the data which is available within your current working directory, within your present working directory, it will remove data from there.
Yes. Got
So
it.
guys, please be very, very careful. I usually say RM-RF asterisk, you can lose your job. For example, if you have to remove anything from anywhere, let us create one directory mkdir-mode equal to 777/temp, and let us say there is a directory which I'm going to create known as demo, right? One more thing, guys, we can define the permission of a file when we are going to create it.
Okay.
mkdir-mode equal to whatever permission you want to define. Why I can define 37. So like 777 here, so that will be different use case. We will talk about when we'll be discussing about file permission section, right? So let us say there are like so many files are created there. For example, touch/temp/demo, and now I want to create maybe like files beginning from A to Z, like that. I'm going to create, right, guys? So there are like now I have created all the files here. Oh,
Under demo.
either we can run ls-l or we can run ll command. Both makes the same sense here. So guys, if you see, we have created these files, right?
Yes.
For example, I want to remove all the files. There are two ways. Either I can run this command like this, temp/demo. cd means change directory. We are jumping to some different directories here, right, guys? We are here now. We can run a command rm-rf. Either I can define one asterisk here. It means everything will be deleted. So is it a good practice, guys?
No.
Then how do we need to define? I need to remove everything from this file.
You can suggest RF and confirm after that each file.
Need to write demo, then A to Z, and then asterisk to it.
But let us say, I agreed with you, Priyanka, but let us say there is a requirement like we are not sure whether what the file name is beginning with a number or with a digit, with a special character like that. Then what?
Then braces you can use.
Okay. The ideal way to remove the files inside demo is just define /demo and then place it.
Yeah.
Because let us say if I am not inside demo, right? Or maybe I'm I'm working from some remote location, from different location. If I define this asterisk and the demo folder does not exist there, the command will not work. Which means you will be quite sure that you are sitting at the right location. You are very sure while deleting or while removing any file that you are at the right path. So either define it like this /temp, because you know the location, /temp/demo then asterisk, whether you are sitting inside this folder, whether you are currently available in this folder, though even whenever you are removing files, right? So rather than defining this particular command like rm-rf asterisk, you should be defining the complete path of it, because whenever you remove or execute a command, so most of organizations have such a mechanism that they record the particular video of your executed commands.
Yeah.
Or they may capture the history file of yours. So let us say if I run this command, all the files are deleted. If I run history, so what happens? Most of organization has this mechanism enabled that whenever we work, there's a particular file in our home directory that the file name is let us say ls-la, like bash_history. So guys, when this particular file is modified,
/etc scale.
no, wait. When this particular file is modified, guys,
Whenever you enter any command.
what is the time?
7:38.
Okay, and I'm executing the command. Then why is this file not getting updated? If I read this particular file dot, there is only one command. Why is that, guys? But if I run this command, so many commands I have executed so far.
You have to exit and enter the shell once again, sir. Then it will be returned to the file.
So guys, as soon as you press or you type in a command to exit from your screen or your current terminal, your history file gets updated. So most of organization, what do they do? So whenever you exit from shell, so the particular hook which is responsible to append your current session history to your history file, so they do one more thing, like they take a backup of this file as well, that going forward it may be possible that you may truncate the particular history file.
Yeah.
right? So along with the particular hook which is responsible to append your current session history to this particular file, they take backup of this file as well. Before you delete it, they will take backup of it.
Okay.
So if you are held responsible that you might have deleted very critical command, for example, I was sitting here like temp demo, I executed this command rm-rf asterisk, I executed it, which means how will you be able to prove that in which current directory you were at the time of execution of those commands?
Yes.
Right, guys?
How
But
do they take backup, sir?
pardon?
How do they take backup of that history file?
We will discuss at the time of automation, but right now just that is just a simple logic which I'm trying to explain. Like, why do we need to define the particular right path while removing that sort of command? RM means remove. What does this R mean, guys?
Pardon?
What is the meaning of this R?
Recursive.
Recursive.
And what does this mean? Like F?
Forcefully.
Forcefully.
So if you understand, then that is good. Otherwise, and guys, let us say this is a command LL. So guys, is it really a command?
Yeah.
Yes.
Long listing. Yeah.
LSFNL.
Now, what is the difference between ls-l and ll command?
LL is defined like a full path for this directory, like when timestamp, when you are executing, and ls hyphen s.
LL is just an alias of
Right.
LL.
LL is just an alias for ls-l. This is not a command itself. Right, guys? Okay. Now, before starting any other thing, I would like to walk you through the particular Linux operating system. So, a couple of commands which we have executed so far. So, these are like the commands are available here. I will tell you. But before that, like obviously, like ls command is used for listing the particular files available in a directory. That is ls command. Now, ls hyphen L, this L for long list, like it will not only print the like file names, but it will print the permission as well. For example, if I go here inside slash etc, if I run a command ls hyphen L, so it will not only print the file names, but it will print like the particular file permissions, like number of hard links, owner of that file, group of that file, size, when the file was created, when it was modified last, so everything it will tell you. Right, guys? If I run only ls, it will list the files, but it will not print the information related to that file, like who is owner, what is size, when it was modified last. That sort of information will not be printed, right? Moreover, if we want to print like hidden files on the system, we can define A.
Yeah.
So what does that A mean?
All.
Hidden.
All.
Will list out all the hidden files and folders.
Hyphen all. Right? Hyphen A or a hyphen all we can use here. Capital A.
Almost all.
Almost all. Do not list implied dot and dot dot.
Okay.
What are these dot and dot dot, guys? So if we run any command here, so see, sometimes what happens that I want to list the particular files, but I do not want to list these two. Run this command ls hyphen capital A. It will exclude dot and dot dot. So guys, what does this mean, dot and dot dot?
That is present working directory and
Hidden files. When we hide a file, we put dot before it.
But this is visible.
No, it is for if you want to go back, cd dot dot, it will take you back, and cd dot main, it will list the current working directory.
Okay. Any other inputs? Okay, wait, let me tell you. Yes, a couple of you are absolutely right. So this dot represents your current working directory. Let us say cd dot. I will remain there only. Cd dot dot. I'll go a directory back. So this dot and this dot dot represents your current directory and your parent directory, like the particular directory where currently we are working. So everything begins with slash, and slash root is created on the top of slash.
Yeah.
Right. So slash is our parent working directory, like dot dot means slash and dot means slash root. Are we clear with this thing, guys?
Yeah.
So if we need to print everything, but we want to exclude dot and dot dot, we can print this particular command al. So that will not print dot and dot dot. Moreover, if I define here a small a and then l, it will include this one as well.
Yeah.
Are we clear with that thing, guys?
Yes.
So please repeat it.
Okay, so dot means the current working directory where currently I am. PWD means print working directory or present working directory or current working directory, whatever you want to call it. PWD command is used in order to print your current working directory where you are right now, right? Then if you define, let us say you want to run a command cd dot, what will it do? It will do nothing because dot represents your current working directory, which is slash root. So if you change your directory to this directory, will it perform anything? Will it do anything?
No. To go to slash dot dot.
No, it is single dot.
A single dot will stay in the present directory.
Yeah, but if you define dot dot, it means we are talking about our parent directory. It means
Let's go to the slash directory.
Yeah. Yes, you are right. So dot represents your current working directory. Now, in this case, what is going to happen, guys? If I define cd dot dot, will it do anything?
No.
Because we cannot go beyond this.
Yeah.
And if I run a command ls-l a, still it is printing a parent directory. But guys, we need to understand this, that this particular directory is actually not available, that does not exist on the operating system. So we cannot do anything with this.
Okay.
Right? Because this particular feature does not understand that we are working on a slash or we are working inside any other folder. But this particular thing is built in the particular program. That is why if you want to exclude that, you can type in here LA. So it will print everything excluding those dot and dot dot folders. Right, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So ls command is basically used to check your like files available in the operating system. Now ls-la r lr, what will it do, guys? Lr
Recursive listing.
Recursive listing, but it did not do anything in recursive manner. It is printing only the same thing which it was doing earlier.
Reversely.
Pardon?
Reverse in a reverse order.
Reverse order.
If I define a t here,
Timestamp according to time.
if I define here h,
Human readable.
Human readable. Yeah. Bytes.
bytes will get converted into GB, KB, MB, PB, TB, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, yes.
Guys, is it of any use that if we are running R as well as with T?
So if you want to create a new directory or file, then it will list out in a reverse order.
Okay, so what if, let us say, I'm using only LRH. It is doing in reverse order. I completely agree with that. But if I'm defining T here, is it still doing the same thing?
No, sir.
Then what is the use of that particular?
As per the current time, whatever you have created, it will list down at the downside, means at the end.
So the particular time-based search always takes precedence over recursive search, over reverse search.
Okay.
ls-lrth, whether we are defining R here or not, but obviously it will give preference to time-based search. Like the files which are modified in recent time, those files will be listed here.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Right? So
Yeah.
whether we may define this R or not, that does not make a difference.
Okay.
Okay. Now, guys, what we have to see here, first of all, the very first action which says here, this is the particular file permission.
Yes.
And guys, what does this dot mean here? Does it mean something?
Yes, it's non.
Your voice, I'm not able to hear you, buddy.
It's a non-ACL means.
Okay. It is not non-ACL. It means that a particular SE Linux content is associated with this. SE Linux context is associated with this. That is why this dot is available. If SE Linux context is not associated, it will not be a dot.
Sir, please repeat that. I couldn't get that. What is that?
There is a particular term known as SE Linux.
Yeah, that is
Security
enhanced
right?
Linux. Yeah. Yeah.
So if any file has security in like SE Linux context, like these are known as SE Linux context, this capital Z represents the particular security enhanced Linux context.
Oh, okay.
Like you might have like seen this particular thing, because most of people like keep SE Linux in this particular like in disabled manner.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So these dots are not visible. But if any file system has SE Linux enabled, then these dots will be visible.
Oh, okay.
Right. If it is a plus, it means that file contains set FACL. It means that file contains ACL enabled. That file has some ACL implemented.
Okay. Okay.
For example, if I go and /temp, if I run a command here ll -l, okay. So this shows like this. The same thing goes here as well. If I define here, do not focus on the syntax. Just see all the thing which we are trying to do. See, set -m. User is going to be, let us say, EC2-user. The permission, let us say, I'm going to define here nil demo. Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
So very small, see, these are very, very small things. But what if you are doing a troubleshooting and you have ideas of these small things in production environment? So you will easily get to know that it could be possible that we have full permission on the folder, but someone might have implemented some ACLs here. Because see, sometimes what happens that while doing troubleshooting in real production environment, we actually do not bother about that we need to execute get FSL command for the system. Right, but if you see this plus symbol, so you will this will easily strike in your mind that could be possible that some ACLs are implemented, because I can see this plus symbol. So you will run a command get FACL on demo. That's it. It will tell you, okay, let us say the user is Apache here, permission is nil here. So will your Apache service, will your HTTPD service be able to read anything inside this particular directory?
No.
No. So which means even after giving full permission on the directory, your server is saying permission denied error. What does that mean? Maybe ACL is implemented. How will you get to know without logging to that? Just run a command ls-l and see this particular plus symbol. As simple as that. Right, guys? So, so these are just basic introductions of it. I just wanted to tell you like the particular level of things which we are going to discuss. So that is it for today. It was sort of like demo session. You can say like some sort of basic introduction of myself. I wanted to know about yourself like that way only.
Okay.
So tomorrow onwards, we are going to begin with basics of Linux, like what is Linux operating system, how do we work with it, and everything. So guys, do not think that we are going to cover only these things, but the particular scenario behind the scene, we are also going to cover.
Okay, great.
So I shall not only be teaching, I shall be sharing my personal experience with you guys, right?
Yeah.
So now it is the time to hear feedback from your side. How was the session? How did you find it?
It was great.
Sir,
Very useful, sir.
one question, sir.
Yeah, please
Hello.
go ahead.
Sir, which OS do you recommend, sir, for production? Ubuntu or Red Hat?
RHEL.
But why, sir? Like because like
Okay, let me tell you. There are two things. If the organization feels that they need to have a corporate support enabled, they need to have like vendor support enabled, then in that particular case, organization prefers to use RHEL operating system. But yes, if they want to have RHEL like operating system, but they do not want to enable support, then organization prefers to use CentOS. That is not CentOS. That is known as CentOS. C for community, ENT for enterprise, OS means operating system. Community enterprise operating system. So that is not CentOS, that is CentOS.
Okay.
Community enterprise operating system. So that is sort of a replica of Red Hat, but that does not get registered with any sort of RHN network. Okay. Support is not there, but for example, if Red Hat is going to release any patch, then definitely even you guys will be able to install that patch after downloading from the internet. When it comes to Ubuntu, so it is guys really user friendly. It is most of software repositories are always up to date. Multiple patches are released on very frequent basis. Ubuntu itself has a very big community. Most of people are just contributing it. Guys, please mute yourself if somebody is speaking. Yeah. So that is why the organization, based on their requirement, based on their use case, they prefer to use either CentOS or either any other operating system. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The session was very helpful, sir, and also very, very practical. So could not find this kind of depth as well as extent, sir.
So session is very good, but is there any concession in the fees, sir?
What to say on that particular part? Because see, there are two things. We can travel, we are Nano as well as we are Ferrari. Right? So quality matters. I can comment one thing on this. If you guys feel even after completing the course that we are not satisfied, then 100% fees will be refunded. If you feel that this is not value for money, I'll refund you 100% fees without any question asked. That thing I can definitely do. Priyanka ma'am.
Yeah, okay. I'll think about it because the session is really helpful. And I need Linux. I'm a DevOps engineer, so I need Linux.
Even I am taking care of DevOps and TechOps both.
What is TechOps? AWS.
So TechOps means like you know a profile known as SRE. So SREs are known as TechOps as well, technical ops.
Okay.
That particular team which is responsible to handle production servers only. They do not look into like new development. They do not look in local. They do not go for most of time into automation and all. Those guys are known as TechOps.
Okay. So what are the major difference between this SRE and a DevOps engineer? Like, if you have time.
DevOps is basically a bridge between development and operations. So, so what used to happen earlier is, okay, let us take it that way. So let us say there was a code developed on development environment, everything was working fine, but as soon as it went to production, the code stops working. Now developer says that I can show you that everything is working perfectly fine in our environment. That is dev.
Yes.
The operation team says that we ensured that the particular environment is as good as your dev environment. All the parameters are set like in the same manner. Now, whose mistake is that application is not working in production environment? It is TechOps team or it is developers.
Yeah.
So in order to bridge that gap, there was a concept that there will be a team, there will be a bridge between developers and operations in order to set up the environment like throughout the way, whether it is dev or it is production. So DevOps team is responsible to set up the environment.
Okay.
For example, Java version. For example, Nginx version. For example, like parameter setting up inside dev and inside prod environment. Everything is taken care by DevOps team.
Okay.
Because in that case, because dev, we are developers, ops, we are operations guy. We cannot put blame on any other one's head that this is not our mistake. A particular thing which is not done by any other one, that will be done by DevOps.
Okay.
So wherever you see, if a person does not know even the workflow of any application, so the person will come to DevOps.
Okay.
That we are not aware of it. And DevOps being the most critical team, and obviously we are the funnel. Even every single change which is supposed to go to production, that has to go through DevOps process.
Okay.
So we are the high demanding team.
Okay. You take the trainings for DevOps also?
Yes, I do take trainings for DevOps as well, but because of time crunch, I am not taking these days.
Okay. Okay.
But every day, 12 to 3 p.m. It will be every day, right? So it will be
it will be weekends because even I'm a working professional, so I get time usually on weekends only.
Yeah, because 3 hours each day is written. So I thought during working hours, how to attend it?
So each day means like Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. Okay.
So this days is going to be weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and it will be 3 hours each day, like out of these two.
Okay.
Like 6 hours a week.
Okay then. Yeah. Got it.
And my full name is Dr. Lokendra Singh.
Okay.
I hold
some PhD.
I hold a PhD.
Okay. In computers?
Yes. Impact of communication on service bread evaluation. Basically IT management.
Okay.
I hold overall 15 years of experience. I have, I'm Penta architect, like I'm architect on Red Hat, on Amazon, on Google, Microsoft, and other technology as well. So,
okay.
And most of it, like I come from a non-IT background.
Okay.
I'm a normal plain BA graduate. BA means Bachelor of Arts.
Okay, that's great.
Why do I tell these things? Because sometimes usually people say I come from a mechanical background. I come from maybe like some electronics engineering. Will I be able to? Well, I can make it. Then you are engineers.
Sir, yes, sir. I came to know about you through YouTube only. I needed some real-time scenarios for my interviews, so I watched your YouTube videos. It is really nice, especially real-time scenarios.
Right. So we discuss these points. See, when someone asks me, okay, how long will this particular batch take? I usually say this will take 2 months. Maybe it is going to take 2.5 months. That does not matter because I am really passionate about sharing knowledge. And obviously, when I'm giving my time, so I charge something. And guys, let me tell you, 12,000 rupees looks very big amount. But let me tell you, when a person changes the job, so far my track record is up to 80 to 85%. During the batch itself, my student gets like a new job within the 2 to 3 months only. So if you see up to that level, so it will be hardly an increment of maybe hardly 10 to 15 days, not more than that. Okay. I'm not talking about salary of 1 month. I'm talking about the increment of 1 month salary. Not even 1 month salary increment, even like 10 to 15 days on. So it is only the matter of perception, like how do we look at this figure?
Okay. And one more question is like, as per I've been going through YouTube, so many other persons teaching and also, but as per the current situation, I see the future is in the multi-crowd environment and into automation, as per the DevOps role or something is. So can you give a roadmap of what in the future we need to learn after this? Like,
Okay, so let me tell you, whatever automation you are doing, first of all, automation is done for the particular tasks which are repetitive, right?
yes, yes,
So until and unless you know the particular program that which you need to automate, so you will be struggling with the particular tools. Okay, let us say you have learned Python, but what will you do with that? For example, you do not know that what is the particular file where from you need to fetch the data, right?
yeah,
What will you do with the automation? So first of all, it is bare minimum ask for any DevOps engineer to understand the Linux operating system up to that level that a person can perform the task in appropriate manner. For example, let me run a command. I executed a command if config. How do we check IP address of any server, guys?
if config, yeah.
Great. Okay, I guess it is logged out. I will have to log into this machine once again. Give me a moment. Right, guys. So let me do it once again. Just give me a moment, guys. Just giving an example of automation and like level of information you have.
Yes, yes.
So I need to grab IP address. Okay. For example, if config, I wanted to grab only this particular field. So how will I grab it, guys? How will you find only this particular number? Now, see, there are multiple ways out of it. First of all, I'll do one thing. I'll grab inet. I will grab this one, right? I'll grab like line number 1, head minus n1. I'll grab only this field. Now I know very well that this is the second field of this line, right? Like first and second. What I'll do here is I'll put another pipe. I'll run a command of. Okay. After that, I'll define here like print $2. I got the IP address, guys. How easy is that, right?
Yes, yes.
Isn't it? But guys, if you know the other ways around, host name -i.
Yes.
How easy is that? You don't have to put any if config or any other command. You don't have to use. So see the difference, guys. There is a command like if config grab this one, then you will have to count the like which line number is that. Then after you will have to check what is the particular field where IP address is mentioned and all.
Yes.
So isn't it good? Okay, right here 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 commands were there. Basically, what you are doing here is you are trying to use 4 times compute power of your operating system when you are executing this script in order to figure out one IP address only. The second way here is you can run another command which is mostly used, and there will be no need to do any other thing. So it is not only knowing the automation, it is that how efficiently you are utilizing the tools which are already inbuilt in the operating system.
Okay.
Right, guys?
Yes, yes.
So first of all, operating system is necessary. Okay. Now, if we talk about the roadmap, so guys, first of all, you need to know about the OS. Let me tell you the particular roadmap.
Okay.
First of all, you need to know about operating system. Once you know OS, you will have to know about networking.
Okay.
Because until unless you are able to understand, okay, that 2 operating systems are working together, but are they in the same network or whether connectivity is enabled or not? Then after you will be knowing. I'm not talking about like networking up to like subnetting, supernetting, VLSM, CIDR, like that sort of. I'm not talking about that level of networking, or maybe supernetting. I'm not talking about. But what is IP address? What are the series of IP address? What is difference between IPv4 and IPv6? If it is IPv4, how many classes are there? How many are usable? What is public IP? What is private IP address? If it is private IP address, then what are the particular ranges of each class, like class A, B, C, D, E, whatever, right? Up to that level, you should be knowing. Moreover, the commands in order to troubleshoot. For example, you need to check connectivity between 2 different hosts, 2 different servers. So what command will you use? Let us say connectivity is not there. There are, let us say, we have this infrastructure like this, the very first server. This is a router, let us say, right?
Yes.
This is a firewall. Like this is my company infrastructure. Now let us say I need to interact with some other organization. This will be firewall. Then after this will be router. Then after this will be a particular server where I'm actually trying to reach out, right?
Okay.
So there is, let us say there is some internet. There is some cloud in between, right? So over this internet, we need to reach out and we need to ensure that we are able to reach out to this server. What will happen in that particular case? I will ask my firewall administrator to whitelist some port. Let us say my source IP address here is 10 dot, let us say 243.32 dot, let us say 12/24. This is my private IP address. And now let us say the private IP address of this machine is, let us say 172.31 dot, let us say 78.91/24. So when I try to reach out from this particular machine to this particular machine, so I'm not able to ping, I'm not able to reach out from here to here, but will my firewall allow me to go out towards this operating system? Let us say the port number here is 6666, for example.
Okay.
Right. So whether I am not allowed to go out of my firewall, or when I'm trying to enter into this network, so does this firewall allow me to log into this network or not? So how will I be able to identify that sort of things?
Okay. Yeah.
With the help of commands. So if you know the right commands, only then you shall be able to identify and you shall be able to understand it.
Yeah.
With the right tools. Right, guys?
Yes, yes.
Moreover, let us say I'm able to reach out from here to here. But what is happening? Every third or every fourth packet is dropping. I am not able to get 100% success of it. So what would happen in that case? So if you know the right commands in order to debug that, like what exact point is there? For example, there is a router, and let us say for hypothetical manner, there is a switch as. Yes, guys.
Yeah.
Let us say there is a switch. If this switch is dropping packets, how will I identify that? There is a command known as mtr.
Okay.
Let me give you some example of it.
Okay.
Let us say the server IP address is a.a.a.a.8. So you will be able to understand that how many packets are sent, how many packets are lost. If there is any loss, then it will tell you that at what particular level this is dropping packets.
Okay.
Because in this particular case, it is sending 100% traffic, right? So see.
Yes, yes.
So if some amount of packets are lost, right? And okay, let us say if this is dropping, so obviously like, based on the sequences of the packets, like another is definitely trying to like add the particular packets here. Right, guys?
Yes, yes.
See, it is reducing. And it is not like I selected this one, that is why it has started coming like lots of packets. But at what point it is losing packets? So that is the right tooling. The right tool set if you have, you are the best administrator.
Yes.
So how many are sent, how many are lost, last packet, the average, the best time, the worst time, everything is available here. So this is Google DNS. End of the day, there is no loss when we are reaching to destination. And by the grace of God, I was able to show you that yes, there like it happens sometimes that there are some like endpoints, or there are some hops in between where we may lose the traffic.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is it, guys.
Okay.
So I guess we are good for today. If you have any other question, guys, so you can reach me out, you can ping me directly. You all have my number. If there is any concern, so once again, I'm going to tell you my personal number as well, 7838793800. You can reach out to me on this number or 888-470-500. This is also my number. Right, guys? So I hope that is it for today. We will continue tomorrow at the same time. If you have any other questions, you can ping me directly, right?
Sure.
Yes, someone is asking, like Priyanka is asking, sir, are you provide support for resume preparation? Yes. And for that, there is no other thing needed. There is a particular website where you can type in for resume builder. Let me tell you where do I actually prefer to build resumes. Okay, I'll text you that particular like website where I prefer to, because that allows you to prepare resume for free, and very good templates are there.
Oh.
I'll tell you that, don't worry. Maybe I can share you some sample resumes.
Okay.
So well, thank you everyone. Thank you so very much for your time on call. Have a good time.
Okay.
Hope to see you tomorrow as well, right?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you all.
Have a good day, sir.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Guys, I'll be sharing this video with every one of you via YouTube, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
First 2 videos will be published via YouTube. Rest for registered candidates. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Sure.